how do these different structures affect profit distribution among the partners? And are there any best practices like for how we structure these profit sharing arrangements?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Jody. So, in an LLC or a limited liability partnership, the partners are allowed to distribute profit as they want. Like there is no regulation from the government side or from the corporate code of how you need to distribute the profits. Let's say you and I are partners, and we made $100,000 profit this year. But I did not do much work, and we run our business as an LLP. I was home with my kids this year, spent a lot of time with them, and you did most of the work.
Right.
And coming end of the year, say, you know what, Jody, you did most of the work, so you deserve most of the profit.
That's
And we
right.
allocate the you're damn right. So we allocate the profit based on our agreement. As long as we agree on it, we can allocate the profit as we
Yeah.
want in an limited liability partnership.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a good flexibility to have. You don't
Mhm.
have that same flexibility with a corporation, whether an S corporation or a C corporation for that matter. By the way, they're very rarely that we see law firms run their business as a C corporation. That typically
Yeah.
we don't see that in solo and small law firms. We see a lot of S corps and a lot of LLPs and LLCs, but not S corp or not C corporations. Sorry.
I
So
have to
going,
ask you though,
yeah.
depending on your chosen entity and that structure that you choose, how does that structure facilitate or hinder succession when planning within the law firm? Because nobody lives forever, right?
Very, very true, very true. So it, so from succession planning perspective, I don't see really an issue from the entity structure perspective, because you could pass on your shares if it's a corporation or your membership shares from a partnership to your heirs or whoever. Let's say next partners or junior partners that comes in. But it's more from the flexibility perspective that I like to run law firms under LLPs or LLCs. But we need to say that when it's benefits, there are always disadvantages with comes with it also. And LLPs and LLCs, if you remember when we started talking about the sole proprietorship structure, you pay self-employment taxes on your entire income. That's the case with LLPs and LLCs as well, taxed as a partnership. So you don't have the same tax benefit an S corporation would have, but you have more flexibility through an LLP or an LLC. So what do we do with that? I want both of the best words. I don't want to miss out. There's a way. And what we typically do for law firms with two or more partners, we if we are involved with the structuring from the beginning of the law firm, we would probably recommend an LLP if they're in California, or an LLC if they're in a different state that allows law firms to be run as an LLC. By the way, those two get taxed exactly the same way. LLC and LLP, they're still partnerships. Both of them are partnerships, so it doesn't matter. It just comes down to what state they're operating from.
Hmm.
So what we'll do is we'll create an LLP or an LLC as a top law firm, which all the entity or the operation is being run under. So thereafter, typically, if we're not involved, what I see is under the LLP, it's just the partners, individual partners. So again, you have the LLP on top, and then you have the individual partners being the partners of the LLP or the LLC, which I don't like. I don't like that structure because, yes, with that, you get the flexibility. You can allocate the profits that you want to, and it's a lot more flexible entity than an S corporation. But you miss out on the tax benefits that S corporations have that we just
Hmm.
discussed. So instead of missing out on the S corporation tax benefits, what I do is we put an LLP or an LLC on top. Then instead of the partners being the individual partners, we put S corporations in between the LLP or the LLC again and the individual partners. So there's another layer of entity between the law firm that runs the operation and the partners. So you have the LLP or the LLC, you have individual S corporations that are owned 100%, each of them are 100% owned by each partner. So that way we get the flexibility of an LLP or an LLC, we get the tax benefit from an S corporation, and you get an additional layer of protection between the partnership and the individual partners.